Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Thanks for joining this live chat session. Three main topics for you in today's live chat from Eritrea and Ethiopia. Uh, John Spencer is the first one who commented. I think he's an Eritrean. He says, I hope Eritrea tops the world in a good way this time. Well, after a few minutes, you'll see how Eritrea is performing, who ranked Eritrea, and is this ranking justified? I leave it to you. I leave it to the viewers watching the live chat, watching my views and news. Where is Ethiopia ranked? Where is Eritrea ranked? Is this ranking any significant? Free Eritrea from Isaiah's here too. It's a screen name used by this man. He says, "Hi Sajid, you are an honest and truthful man. Thank you, Free Eritrea." Titemke Gide joined, says, "Welcome. How are you, Titemke Gide?" Mesfin K here too. How are you, Mesfin? Three main topics in today's live chat. Firstly, Eritrea tops the world. From top or from the bottom. An international organization shared a ranking of countries today. Today is an important day. So, where is Eritrea ranked? Who published this ranking? Secondly, Ethiopia is mad at foreign embassies. 18 foreign embassies issued a joint statement today against Ethiopian government, you can say, and Ethiopia on that issued a counter statement. For Ministry of Ethiopia gave a shut up call to these foreign embassies. And thirdly, Getachew Reda, Tigray interim president, few hours ago gave a lecture about the youths, that the future of youth should be secure. They shouldn't be pushed towards the wars and conflicts. Lilo joined. Lilo says, Hi Sajid, I think you should start by Volkite news we are hearing. Well, I'll share from Volkite once we have any credible piece of information. I don't want to spread rumors. I don't know. I know what people are doing. They just are making up stories about Volkite. I'll speak whenever I'm able and whenever there is verified information which I am comfortable sharing with you. Yemasgan joined too. Yemasgan says, how are you today? I'm still waiting for you to announce Laita People Fund and Fano agreement. Yeah, people mentioned. Well, I think the documentary about Addis Ababa Fano incident showed a few, at least one man from Volaita. But we cannot say that Volaita, any major group or party in Volaita is supporting Fano. Uh, it's too early to conclude, Yamaskan, I think. Alche joined too. Kim Lolo, did you get Verede's interview's translation? It was very informative. I think I spoke on that 2 days ago. Dark Star here. Chief of Hamasian is already rejecting the report, the list which I'm going to mention. The list is fabricated by CIA. Dark Star is asking an unrelated question saying, who is responsible for the start of the Tigray war? Because both TPLF and PP point at each other. Can you give me your unbiased take? Well, uh, it takes two to tango, they say. That is what I can say. Eritrean Post joined too, and hopefully he'll talk about Pakistan to divert me from talking about Eritrea. Yeah. Sajid, can you answer one question? If India says to Pakistan, give us support or our children will fight tomorrow, will you also say Pakistan should take as a business deal? You see, I told you. He'll talk about Pakistan. F from Tisfai says good evening. Tivolde Tisfaldet says hi. S says insider. Kim Lolo, I think interview, what I heard in terms of where this talk, it happened 2 days ago, I think. Let's start viewers. Today was World Press Freedom Day. 3rd of May is celebrated as Press Freedom Day. And on this day, uh, Ilyas Milkis joined too. Uh, Reporters Without Borders issued a ranking of all the countries in terms of press freedom. Where is Eritrea placed? Where is Ethiopia placed? Any decline in Ethiopian rank in terms of freedom of press? What did 18 embassies based in Addis Ababa say today about press freedom in Ethiopia? And why is Ethiopia so angry about the statement by 18 foreign embassies? Uh, Reporters Without Borders shared ranking of 180 countries about press freedom. Ethiopia is placed at the last number, 180, below Syria, below Afghanistan. Eritrea topped the world from the bottom today in terms of press freedom. But still, some here would defend Eritrea. They're already saying it's talking about Pakistan, India, Iran, talking about CIA. So loyal and blind backers of Isas Afwerki's government are not ready to criticize the Eritrean government for total lack of press freedom in that country. One state-owned television channel, one state-owned uh, radio station, one state-owned newspaper. This is Sajid. Satellite channels are viewed in Eritrea. People can use satellite dishes, but they don't mention what Eritrean government is doing. Is it giving any space to media, to journalists to work freely? No. Around 2 decades ago, some Eritrean journalists were arrested. 2 decades ago. They were accused of working against the country, working with some pro-democracy people, and they were arrested. And some still could be in prison, but in prison 2 decades ago. But those who are blind supporters of the government, they'll defend this worst record of human rights situation, press freedom situation in Eritrea, worst in the world. Norway, Denmark, Sweden are on top of the world. Where is Ethiopia placed? Ethiopia's ranking declining as well. Ethiopia placed at 141. 141 is this year's rank. Last year's rank was 131. Ethiopia declined. Its grading declined by 10 notches. And it was 114, I think, in 2022. 114, 2022, 23, 131, 24, 141, I think. Eritrea 180. Ethiopian ranking was improved in 2018 and 19 when PM Abiy came to power. And we saw an era of reconciliation. Dissidents were released from prison. Those who were outside in exile, self-imposed or forced the return. So 2018, 2019 saw improvement in Ethiopian ranking. And after that, war, and then a new era started of crackdown on journalists and decreased space for journalists, and Ethiopian grading obviously declined. That is why today 18 embassies issued a joint statement in Addis Ababa. Embassies from UK, US, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, Finland, Austria, Australia, Czech Republic, etc., Germany, France, I think. They issued a joint statement showing concern at illegal uh, arbitrary detention of journalists, asking the Ethiopian government to respect the freedom of press, freedom of journalists in the country. And Ethiopian government was angered by this statement, and foreign ministry just a few minutes ago released a counter statement giving a shut up call to the foreign embassy, saying that this is not how bilateral state relations are conducted. This is not the way to conduct bilateral state relations. That is why these embassies should be careful. Ethiopia believes in the freedom of press, freedom of journalists, freedom of media. Obviously, Ethiopia angered. So this is the situation in terms of press freedom in Eritrea, in Ethiopia. Ethiopia better, I always say that Ethiopia is better than Eritrea in terms of human rights situation, in terms of press freedom, but still it's not an ideal case to be followed. It's not an ideal for other countries because gradually we are seeing. I always say that 2018 gave hope of change to Ethiopians. It could be 2019 as well. Then the dreams were shattered. Everything returned to pre 2018s. By the way, EPRDF also was not known for giving freedom to journalists and media. What we are always doing is not something new. Hira Ammare joined to Ahmad Umar a little late. Muhammad Ali says, we don't trust Abiy Ahmed anymore. He's very dangerous. Romi and Jito. Good day, Mr. Sajid. How are you, Romi and Jito? Hibo Press, welcome back. The media of people and with neutral updates. Thank you, Hibo. Darni says Ethiopia will be better than US in 2035. So Ethiopia will have to wait 11 years. Let's see. Very prophetic and exaggerated too, maybe. In the near future, and you will make good videos about Eritrea. Well, I don't see any big change in Eritrea. I don't know about future, but obviously there are no signs of any big change in Eritrea in coming days, weeks, or even months. The man is in tight control of the country. Alim Gizao joined too. Alim says the problem is there are thousands of Tucker Carlsons and no rule of law to keep the peace when the media agitates. Well, let me respond to what Alim said. I think Eritrean and Ethiopian situation is not comparable. Eritrea is definitely the worst in the world. No one is allowed to speak. Ethiopia is finding it difficult how to tackle the journalists, how to create a balance between media freedom and true and authentic reporting. Because Ethiopian media outlets, journalists are definitely not independent, not neutral. I'm not saying all of them, but majority of them work on ethnic lines. They have specific agendas. They have their own loyalties and sensitivities. They support particular people, particular agenda, like YouTube channels, you know what, Ethio 360, Ethio Forum, OMN, etc., who backs them and for whom they are working. We know that. So, media definitely is not neutral. When government says media is spreading propaganda, government is not lying. But government's responsibility is that it should publish and enforce a code of conduct which ensures neutral reporting. And those who against this code of conduct, those who violate the code of conduct, they should be punished. Problem is that government media can Volta, EBC, etc. Can these channels criticize the government? Can they challenge the government's policies? Can they air the content, the statements of opposition parties? Government media, federal, regional, totally supportive of the governments. Opposition parties are not given coverage on national TV, which is again a violation. That opposition should be given equal coverage. So government wants to spread its narratives about all the issues, about internal, external issues. It is not ready to give freedom to journalists. News outlets, on the other side, they are paid, they are backed by particular groups who want their agendas to be spread and implemented. You cannot just say that Ethiopian journalists. There is no Eritrean journalist. I don't know, by the way, who is a journalist there in Eritrea, who is working independently. But in Ethiopia, there are no journalists who are working independently and neutrally, and all parties trust them. Can you name 5, 10, or 20 people who have the trust of all players in Ethiopia, who have the trust of Orthodox Church, trust of federal government, regional governments, all ethnic groups? No. People have been divided. Journalists have been divided. They're representing mostly the ethnic groups to which they belong. Yeah, Chief of Hamasyan, I agree. There is no such thing as independent media. Yes, I know all big news outlets, they have their own agendas, but even they try to create a semblance of neutrality. They give coverage to all viewpoints, and then definitely they spread propaganda as well. But can you compare that with what is happening in Eritrea? Kira says, why is the Eritrean regime so brutal on its own citizen? Is it out of fear or something else? Is it a question, Kira, or a comment? Magnetism joined to Amante Dasso here, two geese. Democracy is dying in Ethiopia, Orome Jitu says. I agree. Democracy is not flourishing in Ethiopia. You have seen statements of political parties, opposition parties in recent days, OLF, OFC. What are they saying? You know that. What they're saying, press freedom ranking, again alarming, declining, national dialogue, selective dialogue, not likely to achieve anything. Nothing seems to be happening good, which is in the right direction for better democracy in Ethiopia. The other side of the question. Uh, why is Eritrean government is so brutal, says Kira on its people? Well, maybe they know, maybe they believe that this is the way to rule. Rule with an iron fist. Don't let people express themselves freely. It will lead to divisions. Ethnicity should be curbed. Freedoms should be curbed. That is the way to rule the country. Otherwise, there'll be more divisions. People will rise, they'll challenge, they'll ask questions. A month a day. So, Sajid, I have clicked on the membership link, but it could not work. What did I miss? Where are you, Amante? Are you in Ethiopia? If you want to be a member of the channel, you should be in a country where YouTube membership is allowed. In Ethiopia, YouTube membership is not allowed. You cannot be a member there. It will not show any ads in YouTube in Ethiopia. You have to be in a country eligible for the YouTube membership to be a member. And very simple, just click the link given in description section and it will take you to membership page. No, you cannot be a member if you are in Ethiopia. Someone is saying maybe some outside help is coming towards Eritrea this time that the Tigray issue is closing. Someone says Abiy Ahmed by any means wants to keep his power for 30 years like Eritrea. Well, all African leaders want to be in power till their death. Yoweri Museveni, Paul Kagame, uh, Ismail Omar, Isaias Afwerki, you can just go on and on. Elections are held too, by the way. Elections are in Djibouti too, in I think Uganda as well. But no change. Controlled democracies. DW Ethiopia says they don't have YouTube ads in Ethiopia. That's news to me. Well, I don't earn anything from Ethiopia, DW Ethiopia. It means there are no YouTube ads there, no membership there. So since I started covering Ethiopia, I have not earned a single penny from Ethiopia. I believe there are no YouTube ads there. Daniel Abate joined to welcome Daniel. Dr. Admaso YouTube here to welcome Dr. Admaso. Third news story was then we'll end this live chat. And the third news story is about Getachew Reda, Tigray interim president, who spoke yesterday. A statement was issued to the state media. Uh, no YouTube in Ethiopia, Dr. Admaso says. Do you have to use proxy to access YouTube in Ethiopia? I think it's accessible. Muni Muni joined too, but he has a meeting in 10 minutes. So I started early. I was on time. Agunaf says Sajidin sensational titles. Title is not very sensational, by the way. I toned down the news rather. Can people be a member by using VPN in Ethiopia? I don't. I wouldn't suggest that. Why? Because to be a member, you'll have to pay a few dollars, $1, $2, or $3. I wouldn't recommend you to use a proxy to be a member because you will have to enter your credit card details. So it could be risky. Don't be a member if you want. If you have to use your card uh, running a proxy, don't do that. Mooney, the con that is always posing as a VIP mechanism says. Lastly, was Getachew Reda gave a lecture yesterday, Tigray interim government, about the future of Ethiopian youth, saying that this time no youth should be pushed towards wars. Their energy should be diverted for healthy activities. They have suffered a lot. People have suffered a lot. That is why this cycle of war should come to an end. While Tigray government issued the statement, Tigray still has around 200,000 active members of Tigray forces, youths mostly. And just a few weeks ago, Tigray mobilized its youths into a southern zone. Tigray could mobilize its youths into western zone. I have been raising this question about the future of Ethiopian youths for the last 3 years. I've been saying that Ethiopian youths have opportunities now only in security sector. They can be member of ENDF, federal police, militias, OLA, TDF, Afano. That is what their future holds for them in Ethiopia. Businesses getting closed, Ethiopia more focused on security. What would be the future of Ethiopian youth? If there was war in northern Ethiopia for 2 years, both parties should be blamed, Tigray and the federal government. Both used youths. Half a million, they say, around half a million killed. Who is responsible? Both of them are responsible. And have they made a new start? Can we say that Tigray has made a new start, or the federal government has made a new start, and now it is fully focused on carving out a better future for the youths? No. Has Tigray announced anything for the youths, especially? What about the role of youths in politics? How far is TPLF going in promoting youths in their party? What about youths in the interim government? No. The same ruling elite of TPLF, TDF is in power. So the statement was just a mockery of the attention which people should have towards the future of youths. Government on federal level, what is it doing? How many new jobs have been created this year in Ethiopia? Tell me. Any new projects with tens of thousands of jobs? Which new technologies have been introduced at Ethiopian universities? They don't have the money to feed their students. This is the situation. But have a nice weekend. Muni Muni says Ethiopia shall rise. I think you're about to go to sleep, Muni Muni. All of us are all prayers for Ethiopia. Problem is that direction is not right. Problem is the direction. Hopes definitely keep you alive, but and dreams keep you going too. But direction. Do you think direction is right? Egon Nafir says Ethiopia will never have peace as long as the mad King Abiy is in power. Well, this is also a very important point. People say Abiy should go. Fano wants to remove Abiy. Ola wants to remove Abiy too. What will happen after Abiy? Have people worked on post Abiy situation? No group in Ethiopia, no individual in Ethiopia can bring about change unilaterally. Ethiopia can only move forward if the change is consensual, it is reconciliatory, and through dialogue, things happen. Removal of one man won't bring about any change, believe me. So there is no post Abiy picture, post Abiy scenario which is being considered and which is being discussed among all the stakeholders. How can we say then that Abiy's removal will lead to a better Ethiopia? I am not saying Abiy should stay in power forever. What I am saying is that if people want to remove Abiy, what is their post Abiy plan? DW Ethiopia says, don't you feel the damage is already done to Ethiopian unity? Do you think it is possible to have a united Ethiopia? It's always possible. Why not? I mean, you need selfless leaders, leaders who don't want to stick to power, leaders of parties, leaders of regions, leaders of the government opposition parties. If somehow they realize that they should sit, they should talk, they should work for Ethiopia, things can change in days and months. But so far, the representative of their ethnic groups, of the regions from where they are, and maybe they don't have the required space to work to. They fear that they lose their position if they start speaking about taking all the parties, all the groups on board. They just represent their own ethnic groups, working for them, dividing Ethiopia more, I would say. With 35 minutes have passed, we should end this live chat session. Thank you for watching. I spoke on three news stories today. Eritrea ranked the worst in the world today in terms of press freedom. Today, 3rd of May, was the World Press Freedom Day. Eritrea placed at the last number, 180. Ethiopia at 141. Ethiopia's ranking declining as well on yearly basis. Second, Ethiopia responded to a statement by 18 foreign embassies today who criticized Ethiopia for arresting and detaining journalists. Ethiopia says this is not the way to run bilateral relations. Ethiopia gave a shut up call to this foreign embassy. Lastly, Getachew is very worried about Ethiopian youth future. He said that The youth should not be diverted, should be pushed to wars. Wars should come to an end. Thanks for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Stay blessed. Bye bye.